Hi friends, I'd like to try and share something. Maybe something I've said before because I seem to say the same things over and over again, but as a preacher once said, first you tell them what you're going to say, then you say it, then you tell them what you just said. So sometimes things need to be heard a couple times. So this is about context while we're practicing. And this is not just about yoga poses, but like the whole thing. So what is the goal? What's the ultimate goal? For me, I think waking up, enlightenment is a lofty but holdable goal. And the way that I've come to think about what that might look like practically for me is being with what is. So I think we've all had the experience of not having anything in the way of life as it's occurring. Usually that happens when we like the circumstances, like the situation is pleasant or what we expected or wanted. So 72 degrees, no bugs, I'm having a good relationship, look good, feel good, got enough sleep. When all that's happening, maybe there can be an ease of being, but not even necessarily. Have you ever had all the things go right and you're still complaining inside? So the way that I like to think about the practice is starting from like a meditation, sitting, getting quiet, being with what is, and then start to do some things. So the physical practice, moving through a whole range of positions, shapes, situations that might stir things up. So as I stir things up and meet my edges, my limitations, what I can't do, what's challenging, uncertain, uncomfortable, tight, weak, imbalanced, the whole shebang, is it possible to practice coming to that place of acceptance and ease, and not always easy. Of course, some poses, situations are easier to access those, so it's great to practice those occasionally so we kind of marinate in that feeling. But then what about when it's not going the way you like? So, in a seasoned yoga practitioner, like for me, for example, I don't often meet my edge on my mat anymore. Like, it feels pretty good. I actually love the way it feels most of the time. That doesn't mean I didn't meet my edge back when I started and was like really exploring, but I meet my edge fairly often in my day-to-day life, like parenting, for example. Is it possible to be in a situation, I'm doing my best given what I understand and I'm able to do, and then the results are not what I wanted. Somebody's not behaving the way I wanted, life didn't go the way I wanted. Having that breadcrumb path that I practice on my mat in yoga to slow down, feel what's happening, and see, is it possible to open up and allow what's here to be here? And the secret is, it's gonna be there whether you allow it or not. So really it's a practice in freedom. The resistance to life as it's occurring is the definition of suffering. And suffering, is optional. Pain, not optional. Life is full of pain. But suffering, the resistance to what is happening, is optional. So the practice being, feeling what's happening, doing whatever needs to be done. Sometimes action needs to be taken, and we can only do that to the degree that we understand and are capable of doing, always, in yoga and in life. And then the results are going to be how they are, like very little control over that most of the time. So is it possible in each situation, feeling whatever is happening, to open? And in those moments where it's challenging, knowing that's the path of awakening. This is the path. There's this wonderful parable about a live-in monastic situation where, there's a teacher and then there's all the students, and the students get together and they go to the teacher and say, there's this one guy so annoying, like we've got to kick him out, like we can't stand this, we can't learn the teachings with this one dude here. And the teacher says, he's on payroll. I pay him to be here. Like, he is the teaching. So I love that, remembering that, like, my children are my teachers, my partner is my teacher, like, life as it's occurring is my teacher. So hopefully that's helpful for you. I really did it just for me because I need to remember this.